one of the more intriguing things that are happening in the NFL, because I'm a systems guy. And as a systems guy, I like to look and see, you know, just how tight is your system and what are you doing to build your system? Once we kind of get an idea, and then finding a well-defined system is a little difficult nowadays, you know, like when we talked about the West Coast, you know, there's no pure West Coast anymore. You know, what people are running is kind of this and kind of that, offshoot of this, and et cetera, et cetera. Well, I think that what's happening with the Arizona Cardinals, then they're in the division with my beloved Niners, is intriguing because you've got a coach who is highly associated with a very specific system,
right?
One that's impacted the NFL, we found in doing a little bit of research, and maybe ways we hadn't thought about. But I think this is one of those times, especially one of the few times when a new coach is coming in and he's bringing in a new system and a new quarterback who's steeped in that system. But now we're going to interject that whole scenario into the NFL from the NCAA.
We've heard this story before, though.
Well, we talked.
A new coach.
We said new coach before. We were talking about Chip.
That's exactly
Chip
what
Kelly.
I'm talking about.
However, I don't think Chip didn't bring the quarterback with him from college like that.
No, that's the only part that's missing.
Different.
But he tried. He tried to get Mariota. He tried. Couldn't pull it off.
He didn't pull that off.
Right.
Now, this coach is pulling it off.
This guy's pulled it. He has pulled it off.
Is pulling it off. Now, first of all, the question, this segment, the question asked, is it Kyler and Cliff, or is it Cliff and Kyler? And part of that came from watching one of our favorite shows, Good Morning Football. Hi to all at Good Morning Football, where they asked the question, who has the most pressure? And they were talking about Kyler, they were talking about Cliff, and like how much pressure they have, especially quarterbacks. So they're talking about Kyler. And I thought about it, and I'm like, anybody who's really looked at that, Kyler is coming in as a systems quarterback.
Right.
That's the one best place for him to probably be.
Absolutely.
You know, is in that system. I don't know if he would work in anybody else's system, but we want to talk a little bit about the air raid offense.
Okay.
And why this just might work offensively, what kind of production we can expect because of the way that system works.
Okay.
So what I wanted to do first is I just wanted to kind of talk about the coach just for a second. All right, because Cliff Kingsbury is a very interesting fellow in and of itself. He was part of the New England Patriots Super Bowl team in 2003. So he actually is a Super Bowl winning coach in a strange sort of way.
Was he a position coach?
Yeah.
He was a quarterback coach, though.
He actually
wasn't.
He actually was with the Patriots, the Saints. He was on the Broncos practice squad. He was with the Jets, and he was with the Buffalo Bills.
He played for them.
Well, again, some guys he was on the practice squad, and some of them he was on the
right. But I mean, he was a player.
He was a player. He wasn't a coach. Absolutely. Right. Matter of fact, he was selected by the New England Patriots with the 201st overall selection in the sixth round of the 2003 draft. In addition to having bounced around the NFL, he played with the Cologne Centurions in NFL Europe. A lot of football. This guy's got a lot of football behind him. He played with the Montreal Alouettes in the CFL, the Canadian Football League. And that's all before he coached, you know? So it was interesting to see how much he had behind him before he even got into coaching.
But you can find out why he kept getting jobs by looking at his college numbers.
Excellent college numbers. Excellent college numbers.
They're like, those your numbers? Come on, we got to give you a try. Come on.
So the one thing that we can start off with when we talk about the air raid offense is that this is an offense that is designed for the quarterback to take basically one mainstay play, what they call the six, which are pretty much all kind of goes, right? Is that what you would call them?
Four verticals.
Four vertical routes. But utilizing the space on the field, there is a common communication and understanding between the quarterback and the receivers as to what's open. And that receivers have, and the quarterback, if they're on the same page and they're looking at the way the defense is lined up and they're looking at the way they're lined up, there's space on the field. And the idea is that receiver is to know that space means he's open, and that's his first. Even though he was maybe given a 9 route, he's going to cut it off right in that space, and he's expected to do that. The quarterback is expected to look at the field and kind of see those same things, and consequently, they have a coordinated read, and it's boom, 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 boom. So it's quick. There's not a lot of verbiage. There's not a lot of need for him to go back to the coach during the game. He's not going to, shouldn't be in there in the Seattle doing like this. I can't hear, because that's not what he needs. Once he knows what the play is, it's about looking at the field, and it's about both, communicating and they can, what they call tag a receiver and tell him to make a change. Mm-hmm. But long story short, the way it's kind of designed, so you have a quarterback that's coming into the NFL as a rookie, who fundamentally is going to be almost like in Madden. That's what I was saying. Madden, you're both the coach and the quarterback. You right. Snap the ball, you decide how you're going to roll, you decide who's open first, blah, blah, blah. All of that, and he's going to be kind of like that. He's the quarterback on the field. This is a lot for a young rookie coming in.
Yes. Some of that video, and I don't even really think we got to that actual part, but I know you had told me about it because you watched the whole thing, was the question of, did they really need Kyler Murray to run this particular system? If they had brought this system in and couldn't get Kyler Murray, could Josh Rosen have run it? And I believe the guy that was on the video talking about it believed that he could. Okay, so I say that to say the quarterback has to be special, but he doesn't necessarily have to be a special athlete. Okay, what you get with Kyler Murray as far as moving around in the pocket, getting outside of the pass rush, or running downfield, that's extra. That's extra. The concept of the four verticals and how you audible off of that, that's the system.
That is the system. And that's what
the communication, either by words, hand signals, whatever. And the quarterback has to be able to look at the defense, find the open grass, and get a particular receiver to that spot.
And the receiver has to know to get to that spot.
Right.
That's the thing. They're reading kind of the same concept, what they call the open grass concept. Right. And, if you got a slot and you got a wide out, and they have a corner and a safety playing those two, and they're back off 15 yards, that open grass in front of them is the play. Even though they were told to take a 9, it's sitting right there.
Right.
Unless the situation said they had to go,
The idea is you want to get that receiver open as soon as possible. You want the ball to be coming out as soon as he's open, not having him run through open grass. As soon as he gets in the open grass, the ball's supposed to be out.
Space.
That's the difference between any other system and any other quarterback coming out, reading the defense. He's got a play call, and he goes, oh, you know what? We need to audible to this. You should run this. You should run that. That's because he sees the defense, recognizes it, and then has at least a general concept through film study as to what they do when they're in that formation. It's kind of the same, but it's not the same. It's not the same because that quarterback that's running the air raid has to diagnose the open grass.
That's what he does every play.
And get somebody in there.
Now,
and the ball has to be delivered. That's the thing. It's like this.
Like that.
Sometimes
now that's close to what Chip liked the quick
Yes.
And we're gonna deal with that. Let me run through a couple questions that came through my mind real quick. One, the role of the tight end. Okay, a lot of times they go with 4 wides,
right?
But from what I saw, you can run that with 2 tight, like my tight end with the Niners, he could run that real good.
Sure,
if you especially got speed. The next thing is the running game. Okay, that's the next thing. How does it affect the running game, especially when you have that spacing and you're blocking and all of that, which might work out for Kyler Murray because now he's got passing lanes he can see through. Wait a minute. The other question, and you can cover all of this. The next question is fantasy. What are you thinking about that as far as your fantasy is concerned?
I have to give it some thought.
My Madden is concerned, okay.
I see it bigger for you.
Can a rookie master these concepts against NFL defenses? And again, the pressure isn't diminished because he's a
All right, so you asked me like 8 questions.
I asked you like a bunch.
Give me one
questions.
at a time.
So let's go back. Roll of the tight ends.
Roll the tight ends. First of all, although it's predicated on 4 verticals, okay, who's to say that the quarterback or running back can't be one of those 4? So you can mix and match and change.
You said the quarterback, or you mean the running back?
I meant the running back.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Exactly.
Exactly. They can run these routes.
Apparently, they're running this out of the shotgun and generally with a single running back. And if you think about the running back that they have in Arizona.
That's the next question, isn't it?
That's the next question.
The running game. Okay. Yeah. They're throwing 4 verticals at a defense. They're going to get a nickel or dime real quick. And as soon as they get a nickel or dime, that makes the blocking on the line of scrimmage a little easier for the lineman. Okay. Now you get a hat on a hat and you can get your running back out into space too. Not to mention, along with the 4 vertical concept, the 5th part of that, because there's 5 parts, 4 verticals plus the running back pass blocks. If nothing comes, he's out.
He's out. So he's another receiver.
Right.
They have the perfect running back for that. If you think about this.
Oh, yeah.
They got the perfect running back.
Yeah. David Johnson's great.
He can do everything.
It's perfect for him.
Right. It's perfect for him.
And if you got him in your fantasy keeper leagues, hang on to him. His numbers go back up.
Now, when we talk fantasy, one of the things that you like about the Sterling net point power ranking is it kind of informs your fantasy a little bit. So let's go through some net point numbers. We ain't getting no net points in a minute.
What are you basing these numbers on? You've been doing stuff behind my back?
Yeah, man. I'm working. What I went back is I looked at Cliff Kingsbury's college career at Texas Tech. Yes, I did.
You're not real busy, are you?
Oh, I'm very busy. I'm very busy. Yes, I am.
All right, man. Give it to me.
All right. So first off, we're talking about years 2013.
Why are we looking at
2018.
Cliff Kingsbury's numbers?
He's the coach.
Why are we looking at Kyler Murray's numbers?
He's the coach.
Go ahead, man.
Okay. He's the implementer of the system.
Go ahead, man.
All right.
He never made it in the NFL. That goes back to one of your questions, one of your 6 questions you asked me.
Who never made
go
it?
Ahead, Kingsbury.
Kingsbury.
That's right.
Well, again, he might not have had the coach. 2013 through 2018.
Right.
2013, let's do win-loss real quick. He was 8-5. 2014, he was 4-8. 2015, he was 7-6. 2016, he was 5-7.
They sucked.
2017, he was 6-7. 2018, he was 5-7.
They sucked. But let me explain.
Okay.
When you play in the Big 12 or whatever it's called now, they recruit for offense. They don't recruit for defense. Those scores are like 56-50.
Points 4.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. 2013, they put up a total of 465.
Okay.
2014, 366. 2015 and 2016, they put up like 586.
That's a lot of points. You got yardage?
No. Net points. Net points.
I got you.
Right? 2017, 2018, they dropped again. 400, 446, 448. Okay. But again, you're talking about an offensive ranking. Out of 100 what ranged from 125 to 130 apparent ranking locations or ranking places.
Okay.
2013, they were 24th offensively out of 125.
Okay.
2014, when they went 4-8, they were 54th. 2015 and 16, they were second in offensive production out of 100.
This is with Kingsbury quarterback?
This is coach. This is,
when he's coach. What am I saying? It's
coaching.
2013. Yeah,
Coach
of course.
Kingsbury.
Right.
2017, he was 23rd.
This is all Texas Tech, or is it?
All Texas Tech.
Okay.
This is his Texas Tech
All right.
head coaching.
I think those were Mahomes' years, by the way.
Could be. Yeah. And 2018, he was 16th out of 130. So their offense ranked very high. Their lowest ranking was 2014. They were 54.
This is overall offense.
This is their offensive ranking, overall offense, based on nets. They actually kind of averaged it out per game. So
based
on an average, but it's the same thing.
That's yardage, scoring.
No, it's points.
Oh, simply points.
Simply points.
Okay.
Average points in this case.
You.
Average points, right?
Mm-hmm.
Points against.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 2013, 397, 2014, 495, 2015, it was up in the 500s. For some reason, I see a duplicate there. I think something went wacky.
Where's the 2 years they had the highest offensive production?
I have 2015 to 2016, but something.
And what were the points?
Something looks a little weird with my numbers because they repeated, and they shouldn't have repeated. I don't see how they could have repeated, but it was up in the 500.
And
range.
with the defense the same year?
They were giving up close in the 500 range.
See,
this is my.
That's why
point.
their records suck.
Their net points, okay, total net points between the years 2013 and 2018 was only 79 net points. That's an average of about 13 net points. They were scoring big. They were giving up big numbers also.
Exactly.
Same problem that Chip Kelly had. You could score, but you wasn't stopping nobody, and they have that hurry up concept.
Now the hurry up concept doesn't help because score or not, you're off the field so quick, and then your defense is out there.
Your defense is out there.
And we got to remember it's college, so they're recruiting. So they recruited every top-notch offensive player and every top-notch pass blocking lineman they could possibly give a scholarship to. And they might have fell
the net numbers
weak on the defensive player part.
They're not strong in net points. And so when we start talking about defense, who's the defensive coordinator for Arizona now?
Oh, who is it?
Vance Johnson.
My man, the Denver coach.
For the Denver Broncos.
Bet.
He's going to have to be the one to figure out.
Yeah, but this is the NFL now, so he's cool.
You think so?
Yeah. Now I'm not saying the Cardinals defense is going to be great this year because it's not.
I'm saying he's going to have the same challenge
but
that
he is
a defensive coordinator had when Chip Kelly was offensive coordinator. All of a sudden, like you said, they're scoring real quick.
Yeah.
Now I got to get my defense out there, and we got to hold somebody.
Yeah, but here's the thing. That helps them.
That helps with them who?
It's their offense.
It helps the Cardinals.
Yes. It's not like they
What
have
helps the Cardinals?
Huh?
Scoring fast?
No. Practicing against this offense helps the Cardinals defense. First of all, you're not going to see anybody run the air raid as they run it. However,
which is why I'm wondering why you think it's going to help their defense, because they're not going to play their offense. They're going to be playing other defenses who ain't running the air raid.
Okay. Everybody runs some semblance of a hurry up here and there somewhere. Okay. The Cardinals will never be caught unawares on that. Why do teams run the hurry up in certain situations, certain times? To catch the defense unawares.
Well, on that point, I would agree.
That's big to me.
They'll be used to practicing against a high tempo offense.
That's big to me.
Okay.
Also, it gives them a chance.
But they're not running the air raid though necessarily. They're just running a high tempo of whatever it is they run.
Exactly.
Air raid. Okay.
Which would be easier.
Oh, you think it's gonna be easier?
If they work harder in practice, their pass defense should be much better against other teams. It may not happen right away. Personnel. You know what I mean? You already were weak on defense, and now Patrick Peterson then went and took something.
Well, part of what the challenge was with Chip Kelly wasn't that the defenses weren't talented, skilled, etc. they were gassed at the end of the fourth quarter from being on the field so much. So they weren't so effective. The clock management, the ability to manage the clock, not just, in a number of different end results, one of which is just to be able to keep your defense fresh so that your defense isn't gassed when they really need to be. And that's one of the
But I don't think we're talking
area.
In the air raid, we're talking about a lot of no huddle.
I do.
We're talking.
I do. They don't need really a huddle because they're running one play.
I know they don't need a huddle.
So
that doesn't mean they go no huddle.
Well, they're going hurry up. They said that's one of the things that he likes to do. He likes to hurry up. So you're not going to do too much huddling if you're in a hurry up.
Okay.
That's just kind of the way it is. So I see a challenge for the defense in being able to manage your personnel when your offense, and that's assuming they're actually scoring and not just going out 1, 2, 3 out, 1, 2, 3 out, because Murray still has to go through his
but if we're talking about the Cardinals defense, then we're only worried about what they see in practice. What they do against other NFL teams once the games begin, they're going to need better personnel for that. They've been through that already. They sucked last year, they'll suck again. Defensively, yeah. But maybe now they might be they'll win a couple more games because this offense is going to put up more points. They lost games last year with a subpar defense, but they played tough. They lost because they couldn't score.
Now, you said something interesting, and let me challenge you on this for a second.
Go ahead.
Okay? What you said was the offense is going to score more points.
They're supposed to.
They're supposed
hopefully.
to. All offenses are supposed to.
I said hopefully.
Well, I'm not hoping because that's in my division. But my point simply is that they're now facing NFL-level defenses. When they went up against Alabama, that, I think, was probably the closest to an NFL defense.
Right.
And they had challenges.
Right.
So now they're actually facing NFL defenses. And one of the great things that NFL defenses does really, and I don't know, you tell me, do they do it better than in college, is disguise what they're doing.
Yes.
So you might think the grass is there.
I agree with that. However, not only are they facing NFL defenses, but they're attacking them with NFL offenses.
Talent-wise. Okay.
So now the talent level evens out. Before, and that's the thing about college. Unless you play in the SEC, where there's 4 or 5 games that could go either way, unless you're Alabama. Everybody else, you got 4 or 5 games there that can go either way, and then you play Vanderbilt or somebody, you got a gimme.
Right.
In the NFL, there's no real gimmies. Like you could say, Tampa Bay, Miami. Yeah, you'll probably win, but the talent level is a little more equal. So now the system really has to take hold. If the air raid offense is going to work in the NFL against NFL level talent, they're going to have the proper personnel, just like you preach all the time. You're going to run this system, you have to draft these kind of players that are familiar with or can adapt to that system. The Cardinals are going to have to do that too.
I think they've kind of already done that to some degree.
Well, I think they've done it in a draft. Wide receiver-wise, they have definitely tried to make a good effort at the kind of guys that are going to be able to run the kind of routes that they're going to need. They drafted a quarterback that's familiar with the system, which means he knows the signals. He knows specific signals from this specific coach. He's got a big lead on this thing. It's just a matter of getting the rest of the team to kick in.
That's the interesting thing here is that you do have a quarterback who's so proficient at that system.
Right.
He hasn't played at this level yet.
And that's the difference between having him
at that system
and Rosen. Rosen would have to learn it.
Yeah, but
he don't have to learn.
He don't have that muscle memory that we was talking about.
I mean, he could.
Kyler Murray's got air raid muscle memory.
Exactly.
Awesome.
Kingsbury can say, "Hey, remember?" And he'll be like, "Yeah, I got it."
Where's the grass?
Right.
Where's the grass? Just go back to your basics. So this is why I think it's so intriguing that you got this whole system being installed
Mhm.
with a quarterback who was unparalleled in terms of understanding and knowing that system,
Mhm.
maybe paralleled by
Well,
the
Case Keenum
Browns.
knows it.
Yeah, Case Keenum knows it, you know. But and then also he can run,
Right.
which that's not really the major push for that offense. They want him to throw the ball, but if the lane's open up, and I've seen him slide.
I've seen him slide too, which was a revelation.
Baseball guy.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
So anyway, we just wanted to kind of throw some stuff out, some food for thought.